What's going on, guys? Welcome to New Beginnings. I'm Andrew, but for y'all guys, I'm gonna be ATK Drew. You know, it's taken me some time to, think about actually starting this channel, but through my time doing research and talking, to some of my good friends that are doing YouTube now, which I'm gonna bring up later, in this video. We're here, and I just want to start off by saying, I hope to whoever picks up, this video. This is the introduction, and I hope me presenting myself to you guys now. I hope y'all stick with me through. So like I said, starting off, what is ATK Drew gonna even be about? You know what I mean? I'm a gaming channel, man. Listen, when it comes to YouTube and who I watch, you know what I mean? I'm talking about Markiplier, Corey, you know what I mean? The big guys, that I wouldn't say take inspiration from, but, they're definitely people that, when I was younger and I watched it, they grew on me is the best way I could put that. It's something that I wanted to see myself doing, or at least trying out how I am now. How am I gonna be different? I'm gonna be, doing my own thing. I'm not somebody, and I'm just jumping right into it. This is my first time, sitting in front of the camera, really talking. So a little awkward experience, but let me stop rambling. Like I was saying, I'm not gonna be somebody that tries to hop on trends, you know what I mean, and jump on the new trendiest game, you know what I mean, to kind of build my audience. I kind of want to stay true to myself, you know what I mean, and kind of take my own path on where I want to go with this channel. I'm going to be playing games that I mainly want to play. I'm also going to get to that later on down the line in this video, because I have 3 really good games that I think y'all guys would want to see, but we'll find out then. So I know how in the beginning of this video I was talking about my 2 good friends that I talked to about starting this up, and I'm going to put their links down in the description because these 2 guys really, work hard in, what they're trying to do. Shout out to my 2 friends, Prince and Addis. I talked to them for a while about doing this, and more so of the fact of how, they get past the beginning stages, because, this is not easy. You know what I mean? Not a lot of people can do this, and really make it far. But I talked to them because they've been doing YouTube for about like a couple years now. And, I just wanted to get their mindset on how they went about things. And after talking to my friend Prince, because he's been doing this since middle school, he was just honestly talking about being himself, and not really caring about what anybody else thinks, you know what I mean, is something that, pushed him to continue. Because there was definitely times where, there was days where he felt like he couldn't really continue this, or he felt like he could really pursue this as something that he could do in his future, or continue it as a hobby at least. And years later, sticking through with it, and 3,000 subs later, he's striving to, just continue growing his channel, continue growing his audience. So I took that and I was like, hey, you know what I mean? I'm somebody that I like to say I have a little bit of personality. You know what I mean? I like to say, I can make a little joke here and there. But nah, honestly, yeah. So with what Prince told me of mine, I was like, look, if y'all guys are willing to, help me through the beginning process, and, y'all can help a brother out, you know what I mean? I was like, I'm down, because really looking at it, there was no risk that I was really taking by starting up the channel. So I was like, as long as y'all guys got my back for the first month, I was like, I'm down to put the work in. And they was like, we got you, bro. And when I'm talking about them both, I'm talking about, you know, Prince and Abbas combined, which I'm about to get to Abbas right now. So yeah, let's move on here to the next homie, my son Abbas, my brother from another mother, man. You know, there's a lot I can say about that guy. You know, we are the same person. You know what I mean? When it comes to gaming and, you know, just being, you know, nerds, I guess, you know what I mean? That's how we connected, man, you know? And one of the reasons why Shadow is behind the channel is because one of our favorite games is Sonic. And, you know, we always joke around, you know, I'm Shadow, he's Sonic, you know? And then we throw jokes here and there saying Prince's Tails, but he never really, you know, takes on Tails' persona. All jokes aside, though, you know, yeah, we always just used to, you know, say that we were Shadow and Sonic. So I was like, hey, you know, what's going to be my identity? What's going to be my background? And Shadow, because, like, bro, Shadow is just him, bro. You know what I mean? He's him. But, yeah, that's what really connected us. And when I had brought up the idea about starting up a channel, because when it comes to Abbas, you know, he had a YouTube channel. I mean, it's still up. But he's somebody that, you know, when it came to YouTube, he never really found what his craft was. Not saying that he never lost love for making content and doing content creation, but he just never really found something that stuck to him. And, you know, I kind of asked him about what was that like, because, you know, I didn't want to start up something, you know, build an audience, even if it's small or big, you know what I mean? And just for me, you know, a month or two later to be like, hey, you know, this is not for me, you know what I mean? And just not put my all into it. Like, one thing that I'm going to say now is that I put my all into everything. You know, I don't start things for, you know, just for starting them, you know? Like, I want to attack it head on and, you know, see what it can really become. But yeah, I had talked to him about that, and he honestly told me, he was like, hey, look, don't worry about me, because at the end of the day, we all go through our own things, you know, we all our own person, but it's about what you're going to bring for your channel and what you want for your community. And that really stuck out to me because, like I said, community is something that I would love to see grow. You know, it's nice to say you have a community of your own. So after talking with him about that, you know, I was like, I'm 100% in it. And this is why I'm here with y'all guys now. And, you know, just, you know, giving y'all a little intro about who I am, you know, what I'm trying to bring for this channel. But let's get, you know, let's move from all the yap about me and let's get into the games that I'm trying to bring for y'all guys. So I was thinking of 3 games that I could possibly play to start off the channel that, you know, can get me a decent amount of content that I haven't really touched, which some of y'all are going to be shocked by these games, by the way. And yeah, so let's get into it. Number 1 is Alien Isolation. I had a friend that had this game. I touched it for maybe about like an hour. And after getting past like the first main like checkpoint, I was like, nah, you know, this is not for me. Plus I had to leave. So it was like, I never really got the chance to play Alien Isolation, but I had brought it a part of a sale on Xbox. And this was like $9 for like the complete game with the DLC. So I was like, hey, you know what I mean? I don't mind this. So yeah, I wouldn't mind playing Alien Isolation as option number 1. Option number 2 is the Batman Arkham series. Listen, I got it the same time that I got Alien Isolation, because that game, all 3 of the games was on sale for like $5, like part of a bundle. Yeah, like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't have a PlayStation. I would have loved to play Spider-Man, but listen, we stuck with Batman. Batman's still a good game though, so like, chill. And last but not least, the final game that I would love to play for y'all guys, y'all guys can leave in the comments what y'all would love for me to, try out first out of the three. But the last game that I had in mind was the Walking Dead Telltale series. And I'm not talking about season 1 or season 2. We talking about all the games, because your boy got the Telltale Definitive Edition, which includes all the games. And yeah, I would love to play that, for y'all guys, if that's something that y'all guys would be interested in. But yeah, honestly, just to wrap this up, because, I don't want to be talking for so long. And also, I'm going to have to go through the experience of editing, you know what I mean? I just want to say, whoever's picking this video up, if y'all guys are still here, thanks, you know what I mean? Yeah, hopefully this is the start to something, that grows into something. If not, I mean, it is what it is, it's the experience that I got with it, you know what I mean? But yeah, hopefully, I'm gonna try to get this out soon. Probably y'all see this. I'm probably gonna cut this out, but I'm gonna try to get this to y'all around the first week of December, and then there probably won't be a video till after Christmas, because I'm in high school, so school comes first, you know what I mean, all that jazz, blah blah blah. But yeah, after Christmas, I'm going to have a lot of time to, actually sit down, make content, talk to my friends about editing and all that. So, yeah, I don't know what to call y'all guys yet. With Shadow, I was thinking about Phantoms, Shadow Squad, some cringy, corny, but yeah, I don't know. But, I just wanted to sit down with y'all guys. I'm Andrew once again, also known to y'all as ATK Drew, and, I hope to see y'all guys when I upload my first video. See ya.